Hello, good evening and whatnot. It is in fact Halloween 2020 and we have got another unboxing to do, so let's give the thing a jolly good unboxing. So what we've got tonight, or what we should have certainly, is and I'm going to pull this down here and then you can see it as I see it happen. So we're both experiencing this for the first time, and now that I've learned how, I think that was already open. Anyway, so yes, now I've learned actually how to open one of these with that tag, damn it. It should be a little bit more straightforward than last time. So here we are. Let me put this down before I poke my eye out with it. Right, okay. Yes. Packing. Very nice. More packing. Even nicer. And I do like the way that, as we know, Les Pauls have a 17-degree headstock angle. And the way that Gibson, in fact, protect them is with this inserted, I don't know if you can see that, I think you might be able to, think you can't see it now, can you? Is with this inserted cardboard slot, which is, it's so simple yet so clever. And it protects, of course, that headstock from, incurring any damage. Or damages, whichever you prefer. There's just some bubble wrap in the bottom of there. Okay, so this over here. And that down there. Ooh. Lovely. Shiny. Brand new. So this theoretically should be the Gibson Tribute double cut. And now that is hilarious. I thought that this was ebony. Clearly it is heritage cherry, so that's a surprise for a start, but it does have the required amount of pickups. Obviously we've got a lovely new white bag. I'm just going to pop the guitar on a stand for a moment, because what I omitted to do last time was to have a look in the zip pocket in the bag, because this should have all of the that's all that's in there. Let me see. Yep, that's it. That's everything. Stick that in there. Lovely. So of course in here you get your warranty card with numbers written on it by somebody. You get, and do you know, I think this is such a lovely feature. I mean, you are paying obviously top money for these guitars, but it's because they're the best. And you get the baby photo of the actual guitar on the bench. I think it's such a lovely touch and so easy to do. They also give you a Gibson branded strap. That must have cost all of $1. And inside this bag, which is sealed and therefore I shall not open it, of course it's branded Gibson, and in there, let me have a grope. So in there you've got the truss rod. I can feel in there you've got the truss rod adjustment tool, and there should be, I don't know if there is, but there should be at least one Allen key. There's an instruction manual, and there should be at least one Allen key to adjust the bridge for intonation purposes. Okay, so that's very nice. Let's put these here somewhere safely. And yes, so it's Fright Night. It's Fright Night, and I did have a mind with it being a special, spooky night to try and turn myself into a scary looking old man, and then realise that the distance for that wasn't too far to go and that I'd probably achieved it already. So here I am, ready for Halloween. Okay, so let's have a look round the guitar, the guitar that I didn't expect. And to be fair, I'm rather pleased with it. I love the Heritage Cherry. Okay, so we have got one tone, one volume, one toggle switch, which takes us obviously between the two pickups. We have a wraparound compensated bridge, and all of that is on a mahogany body and with a really, really beautifully figured maple neck. We've got the vintage Clusen style tuners with the vintage button tuning pegs, and of course it tells you everything you need to know right there. That is indeed a Gibson Les Paul, and as we can see it's a double cut and it's the tributes. You can probably see, if I can get that into the right light, you can probably see the serial number there, which should tell you that it's a oh, they've gone back to the old way of numbering them. Oh, look at that. They've got well, let me just I'll just put you over here for a moment, and then you can see a little better. So you should now be able to see that the first digit is in fact a 1, and the fifth digit is a 9, and that always indicates the year. The numbers in between indicate the day of the year that it was made. So this was on the 155th day of the year, and where's that? That's going to put it less than halfway through, so probably about April, something like that. And from what I understand, you can't actually get these anymore. So, well, obviously the plastic film is still on the scratch plate, which you'd expect for a brand new guitar. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? That is, what's the word? Nice. And isn't that nice too? I'd compare it to the other one, but the other one is boxed and awaiting transportation to its new owner, as will this be from sometime later this evening. And so that's the basics of it. Let's have a look, see what they did to the action. Yeah, well, they didn't try quite as hard with the action on this one, I would say, as that Junior tribute. But for a lot of people, that might be, as I said in the last one, it's a median where they set them. They want them so that they won't affect this. Don't forget, this is factory fresh. I'm the first human that's had their mitts on it, and my mitts will be on it for no longer than a quick demonstration movie here. And so, and I'll tell you something else that you always find as well. And what I am looking at is I'm looking at the rosewood fretboard, and the rosewood fretboard is quite a light colour. Now, really, it shouldn't be quite that light. But again, as I say, they spend a long time in a cargo hold, they spend a long time in a bag, and they which has usually got a silica, a couple of little silica pouches in it. And, and of course, it dries out the fretboard. So, my first piece of advice, if you buy a brand new one of these, is just slack the strings off and get a little bit of lemon oil on a rag and just rub it in here and rehydrate the fretboard. So there we go, that's all beautiful. You've got little dot markers that tell you which fret you're at roughly, and of course dot markers on the front there. I don't know whether these are either acrylic or mother of pearl. I assume that they will be acrylic, but I don't know. They might be the proper job. And once again, I do like to point this out so that you know that you've got a proper Gibson. Well, you know you've got a proper Gibson if it came direct from the factory, but also the wings on the side of the headstock are evident through the the particularly slim nitrocellulose finish there, which should make them relic beautifully. So yes, so you can see where the wings have been joined on, can't you? See? See where it's a little bit lighter coloured down the side there. And so that's it for having a look at it. But we should have a listen to it, shouldn't we? We'll have a look and listen to it. Okay, right. Let's crack on. Okay, so just before we give this young gentleman a bit of a scene to, what I would like to point out, and if I don't say it now, I'll forget, so here it is that in a previous life, apart from noodling around in local bands, you know, doing the usual sort of stuff, I was in fact a panel beater, paint sprayer mechanic. And you may or may not have noticed that over the past few years I've become very, very Gibson-y. And the reason for that is that certainly from a mechanical point of view, and in terms of build and fit and finish, I can't find, I've had all sorts through my hands, and I really cannot find anything that's any better than Gibson. For me, they're just made better than most other stuff. I couldn't say everything because, you know, I might not be right, but that's my experience anyway. Right, okay, so let's crack on and have a, I'll tell you what, since we're doing things in reverse order anyway, because we've had a walk around it before the tune, which is all back to front, so let's have a quick go on the pickups, and this is on a dry setting with no delay, distortion or other smoke or mirrors. So here we are on the bridge or treble pickup. I love those P90s. I am increasingly becoming fond, or becoming increasingly fond anyway, of P90s. And here we are on the centre position between the two. Both the tone and volume controls are flat out. The other thing that is probably worth mentioning is that I know that some of these have got the input socket or output socket mounted on the scratch plate, but of course these don't. It's routed through to the side of the guitar, which, I mean, I know it's a bit of a... Oh, that's my phone. Right, hang on, let me get this. So where were we? I think, judging by the indication that I have from controls on the guitar, that we're somewhere in the middle between the two, between the bridge and the neck pickup. And so... still, of course, on a clean, dry setting, and now we shall move to the neck pickup. Okay. What a beautiful range of tones! But now we shall have a listen to the instrument within a musical setting. So that it will hopefully give you some idea of what you'll sound like with your pals. Okay, let's have a listen. So all in all, what I would say is an incredibly versatile instrument. And you know, the P90s, they really rock. And of course, as you've heard, they're really good for. This is a guitar for all styles. They're beautifully built, beautifully made, and they just sound. They're excellent, absolutely excellent. So that's really it. I can't think of anything else that I have to tell you, except we were on the centre position just right there. And, you know, well made, they sound great, suit all styles, and thank you ever so much for watching on this Fright Night. And it's adios amigos from the Roxy Unboxy. And I'll see you very soon. Adios amigos. Ta-ra.